Hello, it is KrystalRacquel and I am back again with another video. Today's day 5 of my 21-day videos. I also mentioned to you before that I'm also doing 21 days of exercise. So the theme for this video today is going to be to try new things in order to have a wonderful, fulfilled life. A lot of times when we become adults, we forget about thinking about ourselves. The world of work kind of takes over. If you have children, the world of children takes over. Your relationship with your spouse takes over. And it's hard to always make time to dedicate yourself to knowing about yourself, learning about yourself, looking into your purpose, and proceeding in that way. For even when it comes to your relationship with God and doing those things that are important, you want to make sure if there's something that is important to you, that you proceed and go to church if that's something that you want to do, or you should do if you have the same beliefs as me. But then really just going out there, finding your passions in life, and making an effort to move forward with those types of things. So life is not, well, I can go into the dating aspect as well, but life is not for you to just sit around, work every day in a job in a 9 to 5 and, just raise your children and just be a good spouse. Of course, that's part of it, but part of it is also doing something that makes you happy. And sure, you could say, well, raising my kids and being good to my spouse is something that makes me happy. Okay, great, but invest in yourself. You have other talents. So if you're a good cook, make sure you're looking up new recipes or creating new recipes, and make sure that you are showing your talent on this earth, making sure that you are able to take those steps to be able to create something in this world. You might say, well, I already created my kids, but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that you need to just remember that every day you have a choice, you have an opportunity to do something great on earth, and you don't want that to go away. You want to be able to contribute something to society. And you might say, well, the job that I have, I am contributing to something. I am doing well for myself. I am making an effort. I'm a psychologist. I help people every day. Okay, I'm talking about everything outside of what you do as an obligation, as a requirement. Look for something that you could do that is not a requirement. So I recommend that you continue to love yourself, continue to find different things to do. If you live in a major city, there's so many different things you can do. There's cooking classes. I don't live in a major city, but that's something I want to start looking up. Not saying I can't cook. I cook well enough, but I don't know, I think back about how we had home ec classes where we learned how to sew and cook, and I don't think that's something that really goes on nowadays. So I think it'll be interesting for me to explore where I live now and see if there's different classes like that or something for me to enjoy. If you love dancing, try to find a dance class. You might say, well, the things that you're mentioning, or a painting class, I can't do it because they're money. There's things that are actually free. So if you really want to do something, you're going to have to stop making excuses and really check around and see what's available to you, because you deserve to be fulfilled in life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to enjoy yourself. You deserve to live out your full purpose in this world. And just to go back to purpose, which I like to talk about a lot, finding your purpose is so important. If you go out throughout life and you don't know who you are, it's going to be very difficult for you to be content, fully fulfilled, and happy with yourself. Without a purpose, there's just a lot of confusion. It's just unfortunate. I want to go back and I want to talk about something specific to men. Obviously, I'm not a man, I'm a woman, but there are men, I will say a lot of them don't know their purpose, and women as well, because let's say there's men who they end up leaving the mother of their child and leaving that child and not really having much to do with the baby. I say those men don't have a purpose. They don't know their purpose in life. They don't know what it is they're here to do. Because for you to abandon your child and abandon the mother of your child, that's a problem. And I see it every day. It's happens so frequently, and a lot of times those people don't know their purpose because they didn't have both parents in their lives, and they are just a bit confused. And then in terms of the women, constantly allowing a new man in their life, then they end up becoming single mothers multiple times. Not judging, but it has to do with purpose as well. And I mean, you can say that there's people who maybe they've been in that situation as well, but they just happen to not go through with their pregnancy. I see them the same way, because you don't know your purpose. You're allowing this to happen. Sometimes they might not have known the men long. I was talking with one of my sisters lately, and she knows someone who she was always kind of like, not wild, this girl, but like she always was dating somebody ever since they were young. Probably like her first boyfriend was probably when she was like 10 or something, I don't know. And her parents allowed it, and then, you know, she eventually had a child, and now since she moved across the country to be with this man that didn't work out, she found somebody else, and now she's pregnant by that person. So the people don't know their purpose, they don't know their worth, they don't know what it is that they are called to do. And when you don't know that, you can settle for anything, and you can just do anything and settle for anything. So that's why it's so important to know who you are and have standards, have goals. Do not be idle. There's a lot of people who are idle and wasting time on things that don't matter, just not putting effort into their daily lives, and it shows based on the fruits of their life. For instance, it's possible you can lose your job one day, right? But I want to just say there's people who are very lazy. They don't have a drive to succeed or work. Oftentimes that might come from their household. I remember one time my pastor, there was a woman who asked for prayer for her son. He was in his 20s, I think, and she was maybe mid-20s, and she was like, just pray, he don't want to work. And he was like, you should have trained your child not to be this way. I mean, it probably wasn't that helpful for her at the time. He did pray, but he was like, you should have trained your child to not be lazy, because now he's in his 20s and now you want him to be ambitious. But yeah, some of that does go back to that. But you have to know your purpose. You have to know that you were called here to do something, to be great, and you're not going to settle for less. So ladies, I can talk to men as well because it goes both ways, but ladies, if you are dating someone, you need to make sure that you are prepared, you know yourself, because if you don't, that's very dangerous. You're going to be giving so much of yourself to someone. You're going to be letting people get away with things. You're going to be a pushover, or you're going to want to use men for their finances, or you're going to be seeking validation from them, so you'll put up with anything. That's a dangerous thing. Heal yourself, know yourself before you jump into a relationship. I was talking to my sister about someone else in her life that we were talking about this person, and we were like, yeah, this person, I want to be surprised based on all the what we knew of him at the time, like how off he was. And we wouldn't be surprised if he already hopped into a new relationship after his last breakup, because that's what people are out here doing. They're wilding out. They're just not taking into consideration of who they are and what their purpose is. If you don't know your purpose as a man, instead of being out here trying to make money, trying to do what it is you were called here to do, you're going to be looking for women to support you. You're going to be looking for women to validate you, and that is not okay. And then I wanted to talk about this when I was talking about laziness. My husband, he spoke to me before and he was like, there's no reason why anyone in the United States can't find a job. And in some ways, I absolutely agree with my husband, because there's so many job opportunities. It's either that maybe somebody doesn't want that type of job, or they don't want to work. There's jobs available. And I mean, depending on where you live, this is the first thing that comes to mind, so please forgive me, but fast food or maybe even grocery stores, they hire, I think they pay more than minimum wage, actually. So if you really had a desire to work, you're gonna put your pride aside and you're gonna go forth and do what it is you're called to do. But have a purpose, have a goal, try to define and understand who you are. So not only defining who you are, because you can change yourself and make changes where necessary, but know who you are, figure out who that is, find your passion, find a goal for yourself, and keep pushing forward. Me and my younger sister, we're both trying to lose some weight, and we were like, okay, we have to make goals. Or I mentioned, we have to make a goal. So let's say we want to lose 50 pounds. Let's just start with that 10, that type of thing, and then go from there. So I just know that a lot of you have a fire inside of you. Maybe that fire has died out, but just remember, you were put here for a reason, and we have enough time in the day to be able to pursue our goals and our dreams. We are built for excellence. We were called for excellence, and we have to go forth. We have to do what it is that God called us to do. And that's the only way we're going to be fulfilled, doing what God created us to do on this earth. It really is. So just take that into consideration. And if you have any questions for me, please send it to the email that I have listed below, or list any comments for me as well. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye. Have a wonderful day.